After winning 80 million in the lottery, I quit the national online novel competition immediately. When Sophia, the underclassman, found out, she slapped me right away. Running away. Are you letting down the teacher's hard work and your friends' hopes? Don't tell me your work has issues you're scared the judges will uncover. In my previous life, Sophia submitted a work to the national competition exactly like mine. I asked my editor, brother David, and my first love Sam, to help clear my name. But they apologized publicly instead, asking the judges to give me a chance. Since I was so young, the internet wasn't having it. They called me a shameless plagiarist. Without a way to prove my innocence, I was labeled as a plagiarist, got expelled, faced massive breach penalties. Mom fought to clear my name, but was cyberbullied, fell ill overnight. Hit after hit left me feeling hopeless, not wanting to burden my family anymore. I jumped from the rooftop in despair, but to my shock, I woke up back to a week before the competition. Jean, I made your favorite braised ribs. How about eating before writing? You haven't eaten all day. David, my brother, looked at me with concern, using sign language. I nearly fell off my chair in surprise. Then Sam came in, giving me a box, concerned. Heard your shoulders been bothering you. This massager might help you relax. This scene, I'd been through it before. In my last life, I thought I was the happiest person in the world. My brother, 5 years older, always looked out for me, and Sam, though not family, was like family. But after being reborn, my heart turned cold. In the last competition, my work was exactly like Sophia's. The judges took notice immediately. As an award-winning novelist, I had a high chance of winning. But this incident pulled me into a whirlpool of public opinion. I turned to David and Sam for help. Didn't expect both to refuse. David even apologized without my consent, asking the hosts for a second chance, because of my age. The internet exploded. In such a big competition, dared to cheat. Must have an editor brother covering up. The whole family's rotten. Apologies don't fix anything. Police wouldn't exist if they did. Too young. They're already 18, right? Be a baby at home. Don't disgust us here. Under the pressure, the competition hosts rejected David's request. Actually, I joined for the 300k prize. David had injured his throat and couldn't speak. I wanted the money for his vocal cord surgery, but instead of winning, I ended up with a hefty penalty. And Sophia, with no writing experience, unexpectedly won first place. Her work was hailed as the year's best short story, even getting bought for a movie. She rose to fame overnight as a gorgeous author, while I became the despised plagiarist, expelled because of the scandal. Without a degree, I could only deliver takeouts to pay the penalties. Customers recognized me, left bad reviews on purpose, ruining my hard work. Mom fell ill trying to aid me, hospitalized due to cyberbullying. To cover the bills, I hauled cement on a construction site, but got fired after a few days, losing all my wages. Then the hospital called. Mom wasn't doing well, suggesting I prepare myself. That was my breaking point. I lost all will to live. One night, I climbed and jumped off the hospital rooftop, but again, I woke up a week before the competition. Seeing David and Sam caring for me left me feeling conflicted. Jean, here's some exclusive writing material. Write using this and you'll secure first place. David used sign language, placing the file before me. Sam joked from the side. Jean, you better win first. I'm waiting for you to buy me those limited edition sneakers. I knew he was teasing, but I couldn't laugh. David, my brother, wouldn't betray me. Sam, my first love, was tough but always defended me. So where did it go wrong? In elementary, I won the children's writing contest. In college, my novels were often published in magazines. My mentor, Eva, said winning was a breeze for me. So, once the scandal broke, Eva believed in me. Moreover, my serialized novels had sold well before. I had no need to copy Sophia. At that moment, Sophia released a screenshot of our submission times. She uploaded hers an hour before me, and a week before, she shared her ideas and outline on social media. Instantly, the internet's insults nearly drowned me. Jean definitely copied Sophia. The evidence is clear. Still trying to argue. Heard Jean had books published before. Those must be copied too, just undetected. Her brother and first love had a conscience. If they'd covered for her, the creator would have been heartbroken. The buzz got so big it made the trending news. The competition hosts seriously checked Sophia's evidence. After verifying, they confirmed everything was real with no tampering. They concluded I copied Sophia. I was stunned. The work was crafted using David's material. How could it be plagiarism? But I had no proof. I didn't get why Sophia's work matched mine. Did David give it to Sophia too? But David and Sam seemed normal. I had to start with Sophia's social media. Checking the date, she should have shared her ideas and outline now. With David and Sam always around, I hastily outlined a novel, pretending to improvise, then faked a stomachache to go to the restroom. A hint of annoyance flashed in Sam's eyes. You're being such a hassle. David already gave you all the inspiration and material, and you still want to slack off. David quickly gestured in sign language to ease the tension. There's still a week before the competition, so don't rush Jean. There's plenty of time. As long as she follows my prep advice, she'll definitely win first place. But the time I have left to uncover the truth is running short. After ducking into the bathroom, I immediately locked the door and opened Sophia's social media account. I had heard that her dad is a big shot in a state-owned company and her mom is a university professor. Probably because she's pretty, she has quite a few fans, but I barely know her. However, David's work requires him to deal with Sophia's mom, so they must be acquainted. I once saw him gesturing with Sam, saying Sophia was charming and not like me, who looked like a tomboy. He even reminded Sam that for a wife, he should find someone like Sophia, who's both beautiful and comes from a good family, so he could avoid 10 years of struggle. I thought he was joking, but now, thinking back, it seems like he was quite sincere. Still, I really couldn't figure out why someone like Sophia, who has everything, would try to harm me. Just then, I stumbled upon a new post she'd made. In the post, she shared writing inspiration and a novel outline. I took one look and froze. Isn't this the inspiration and material David just gave me? Even her novel outline is identical to the one I casually wrote earlier. The comment section was filled with praise from web users. This is the first time I've seen such a unique novel structure. The online literature world is finally saved. Exactly. Hurry up and write. I have a feeling you're definitely getting first place. Having the same inspiration could be a coincidence. But why is her novel outline identical to mine? Only David and Sam have been in my study. Could it really be one of them? Thinking about it made my back shiver. But why would they do something like this? Could family loyalty and the bond we've had since childhood mean less to them than a brief acquaintance with Sophia? I spent an hour in the bathroom and made a bold decision. In my last life, my competition piece was my specialty, a fantasy genre. Although I won first place, it didn't really have any innovation. This time, I decided to write a mystery thriller. If they accused me of plagiarism before, I'll just rewrite it. No matter the result, at least I can shake off the plagiarism label, and that's enough. Changing my competition genre kept me tossing and turning. Early the next morning, I quietly slipped out of the house and headed to Eva's place. Eva was my mentor and the first person to encourage me to write. She had high hopes for me in this competition. Seeing me, she immediately beamed and handed me a steaming meat bun. Jean, you haven't had breakfast yet, right? When she noticed something was bothering me, she quickly asked, did something happen? You can talk to me. I forced a smile. Eva, if I don't win first place this time, will you be disappointed? Eva gently patted my head. It's okay if you don't win first. I know how talented you are. There's always next time. As long as you're happy, that's the most important thing. Hearing those words, I suddenly felt determined. After leaving Eva's, I got a message from David. Jean, where did you run off to? Sam brought you breakfast, but couldn't find you and he's getting pissed. I replied, just out getting writing materials. I'll be back soon. I'm not planning on using the inspiration and materials David gave me. I haven't told them about changing my competition piece either. After all, they're my prime suspects. I decided to go to the school library and rethink my competition work. I stayed there until nightfall and finally completed the novel outline. Stretching out, I planned to take a break and check if Sophia had any new updates. Unexpectedly, David and Sam showed up. I was puzzled about how they knew I was there. Soon enough, David placed a steaming lunchbox on the table and gestured, afraid you'd be too focused on writing to eat, so I brought you some food. Sam handed me a thermos. Here's some chicken soup I made this afternoon, to refresh you. With such sincerity on their faces, it was hard to picture them doing anything harsh to me. Had I been overthinking things? If not them, then who? With my mind in chaos, I forced a smile. You came just in time. I'm starving. I'll just wash my hands and then dig in. I took my phone and headed to the bathroom. Instead of going in, I paused by the sink and checked Sophia's account again. Sure enough, she had posted something new. How can people be so shameless? I shared my inspiration and outline out of goodwill, yet someone snatched it without asking. How is that different from stealing? I have no choice but to start over. The post included a picture of a girl's back studying in the library. People familiar with it could instantly recognize it was me. But who took the photo? In the comments, Fans worried if she'd have enough time to rewrite it. Sophia replied she'd write a mystery thriller this time, and that she'd already outlined it. My heart jumped. I hadn't told anyone about changing the genre. How are our themes still overlapping? She must have a spy around me. Is it David or Sam? Why would they do this, though? What would they gain? Suddenly, someone tapped my shoulder. Jean, what are you daydreaming about? I jumped, realizing it was David and Sam checking on me in the bathroom. Apparently, they were worried since I hadn't come back. Startled and a bit shifty-eyed, I said, "Hey, why don't you two head back? I'll eat in a bit." I wasn't sure if they'd caught me scrolling through Sophia's posts. Just as I finished speaking, Sam lashed out, "Jean, David and I brought you food out of kindness, and this is your attitude. Don't think I don't notice you've been wary of us lately. Truly ungrateful." David quickly held him back, gesturing, "Sam's all bark and no bite. Don't let it get to you. We just worried since you're out so late." I quickly responded, "The school's got security cameras everywhere, it's safe." "Seriously? I can stay in the dorms these days to ease your worries." Sam scoffed, "Do whatever, then. I'm done catering to you." With that, he dragged David out of the study room. Finally, I let out a breath. Around 10:30 p.m., I packed up and returned to my dorm. No sooner had I walked in than I heard my roommate, Summer, discussing Sophia. Leaning in to see, I realized it was Sophia's latest Twitter post. It featured a photo of 3 hands holding up Coke cans in a toast. Caption, "When the sky falls, I've got my brothers to carry me through." I immediately recognized those hands as David's and Sam's. When did they get so chummy? Just then, 2 comments appeared below the photo. "Sophia will always be the princess in my heart. Don't worry, Sophia, your brother's got your back. You'll surely take first place." I blinked, thinking I saw something wrong. But after refreshing, the comment was gone. Looks like the plagiarism scandal does involve those two. I wasn't surprised to reach that conclusion. Thankfully, I've been staying in the dorm recently, so even if they wanted to mess with me, they couldn't. I could finally focus on my creativity. But who would have thought that as soon as I lay down that night, I'd see my roommate, Summer, sneaking a peek at my notebook. I instantly woke up and shouted angrily, "Summer, what are you doing?" Summer was startled, trembling, and ended up dropping my notebook on the ground. She snapped back, "What are you yelling about? Don't think I don't know. The person who copied my cousin Sophia, it's you." "Great, living with someone who steals ideas. Living in the same dorm is bad enough. Now you're shouting. So rude." Turns out, Summer is Sophia's cousin. She deliberately posted my personal information in the comment section of Sophia's post. My DMs exploded, filled with nasty insults. Some people even came by to pour dirty water on my bed and put dead cockroaches in my water cup. Helpless, I reached out to Eva. In my previous life, she did everything she could to help clear my name. Though she failed, she's the only person I trust now. When Eva heard about my situation, she immediately handed me the keys to a small apartment. She told me to focus on the competition and deal with everything else after it's over. Finally, before the competition ended, I finished my novel. Now, I just needed to submit the document. But just then, Sophia's social media account updated. "My competition piece has been submitted. Thanks for all the support lately." The attached image was a screenshot of a document. Even though it was censored, I recognized the first few lines. They were identical to the novel I'd just finished writing. The post's timestamp was even 10 minutes earlier than my completion time. I was devastated and shattered my laptop in frustration. Have I really been reincarnated only to fall into the same fate as before? Suddenly, I felt like giving up. Just then, a message popped up on my phone. The lottery ticket I bought a few days ago won 80 million. I nearly jumped up with excitement. With my family's financial situation, I paid for college using royalties and student loans. I wouldn't have entered this competition for the $300,000 prize if not for those circumstances. Now that I have money, I don't need to care about the competition results anymore. An idea formed in my mind, a way to make Sophia, the shameless serial plagiarist, pay the price. I didn't tell anyone about winning the lottery. Instead, I reworked my competition piece and submitted it. If Sophia loves copying so much, then let her copy to her heart's content. The moment the competition was over, Sophia eagerly started a live stream, sharing her competition experience. The chat room was buzzing with comments. "Sophia, you're so confident, you'll surely make it to the top 3 this time, right?" Sophia hadn't even said a word when Sam replied in the chat, "Top 3. Sophia will definitely be first. I have full confidence in her." The chat room erupted, all congratulating Sophia. But before she could bask in her triumph, her face suddenly changed. Viewers were confused when suddenly, a few policemen appeared on screen. They swiftly handcuffed Sophia, saying sternly, "We've received a report of illegal activities. Please come with us." Even through the screen, you could sense the authority in their voice. Sophia's face turned pale, her demeanor panicked. Unexpectedly, more viewers tuned into the stream. The chat was ablaze with questions. What's going on? Isn't she supposed to be a well-off, beautiful writer? How could she end up in this mess? Yeah, Sophia's so innocent. She's still in college. Could there be a mistake? People thought it was an act of jealousy, trying to frame Sophia on purpose. I knew why Sophia was so frantic. She had a guilty conscience. After realizing I won the 80 million lottery, I immediately disguised myself to claim the prize. Seeing those numbers in my account made me relax considerably. The fear of financial insecurity vanished, and my smarts seemed to have increased. Since Sophia loved stealing my novels, I'd fight fire with fire, make her admit to plagiarism and her dirty deeds. I entered the competition with my suspense mystery novel and intentionally let Sophia get a copy. But she didn't know I had changed the final twist in the story. Anyone with half a brain could figure out the ending. The conclusion would be Sophia's self-revelation, but I wasn't worried Sophia would notice. She had no brains after all. I wanted her to confess her filthy acts in this national competition. I wanted David and Sam to see the true face of their so-called perfect goddess. Facing arrest, Sophia suddenly shouted at the live audience, "I'm being framed. The real person behind this is my senior, Jean. She plagiarized my entry and pinned it back on me." Her fans echoed her sentiments, and even Sam chimed in. Sophia's father is a company executive, Mom's a college professor. How could she do such dirty things? This must be Jean's doing out of jealousy. Police, you can't just believe her. I wasn't surprised Sam said that. In my past life, he did the same thing. Unexpectedly, David entered the stream right at that moment. He started furiously typing comments. "It's a setup. Sophia could never do such things. I'll stake my reputation and career on it. If you don't believe, I'll go find Jean and confront her live." Sam backed David up. "I'll come with you, David." Reading their comments, I found it amusing. "I'm staying in Eva's apartment. They don't know where to find me for confrontation." But then, less than 10 minutes later, someone kicked in the apartment door. David rushed in, grabbing my collar, shouting, "Jean, is it you? Are you jealous of me and Sophia? So you plotted this revenge?" Sam smacked me across the face. "David, you don't have to ask. It's definitely her. She's been sneaky since a week before the competition, probably spying on the material and outline Sophia shared online. She didn't say a word, and now she's accusing Sophia. So shameless." They questioned me while live streaming it all. I looked at them coldly, feeling like I was meeting them for the first time. In my past life, I foolishly thought of using the prize money to pay for David's vocal cord surgery. Turns out, he can actually speak. He only pretended to be mute to trick me into this competition. I slapped him across the face and said coldly, "David, so you can talk, huh? Must have been tough to keep quiet for so long, just to reel me in." David's face twisted, unable to retort. Then I turned to Sam and asked, "You say my entry plagiarized Sophia's work. Got any proof?" Making false accusations can get you in legal trouble. Sam lifted his chin confidently. "I didn't make it up. Your entry is just a copy of Sophia's work. Instead of apologizing, you're fighting and even smearing Sophia. How thick-skinned can you be?" I sneered. "Are you sure I copied Sophia? If not, you'll have to kneel and apologize." Sam scoffed. "I'm sure you did. Your submitted work is the proof. It's identical to Sophia's." I chuckled. "Oh really? What did I submit, and how would you know? Are you a judge in the competition? Or have you been snooping on me?" Sam's face went pale. He stammered, realizing he'd slipped up, but stuck to his claim that I'd copied Sophia. Seeing his stubbornness, I called the competition organizers live, in front of thousands. They confirmed that I hadn't even entered, making plagiarism impossible. Sam was stunned. "No way. You definitely submitted something. Jean, what trick did you pull?" I looked at him and doubted if his past kindness was genuine. I'd suspected that David and Sam might be watching me somehow, but I didn't know for sure. So, at the last minute, I unplugged the internet while submitting. My work wasn't actually submitted, but they thought it was. This was my plan all along. Lure them in without alerting them. If I just backed out, they might come up with other ways to trap me. After the organizers exposed the truth, David and Sam turned white as sheets. Then I showed how Sophia had actually plagiarized my mystery novel, even revealing the twist, Sophia admitting to her plagiarism, and other shady stuff. The reveal sent the live stream into a frenzy. The chat was filled with comments. Who would have thought that a sweet-looking writer like Sophia would do such things? Isn't her mom a professor? How could a professor raise someone like that? Exactly. She copied someone else's work and then played the victim, claiming others were guilty. Her male accomplice is no better. helping the opposition against his own sister. Is that even brotherly? I'd seen gossip about this plagiarism before. This Sophia girl, who pretends to know so much, yet nothing she does is genuine. She even got her cousin to harass others online. Shameless. Someone like her, spreading lies and invading privacy, should face the law. David was in disbelief. Jean, why didn't you tell me you weren't participating? Watching me run around for you, were you enjoying it? Sam chimed in with exaggeration. Honestly, Jean, you're so wicked. I even made you chicken soup, thinking you were stressed from the competition. I must have been blind. I laughed coldly. David, don't try to morally blackmail me. You hid that you could speak. Not so noble of you either. Whether I enter the competition is my business, so why should I tell you? And your so-called care, bringing me food, was it for me or Sophia? You know the truth. Your concern was just a guise to monitor me, to benefit Sophia. Caught out, David was angry. Even so, falsely accusing Sophia of that stuff is harsh. A girl's reputation is important. Aren't you afraid I'll sue you for slander? Sophia, who was watching David's live stream, was crying dramatically. David, I'm being framed. It's Jean lying about me. You have to help me get justice. Then Sophia begged the police officers, you can't just believe Jean. You need evidence. She's the one slandering me. You should arrest her. Aren't you doing it because she bribed you? The officer frowned, speaking sternly. Young lady, watch what you say. We're here because there is evidence. We held back to spare you some dignity, but if that's not what you want, so be it. Sophia's face drained of color. After living through all of this again, I remembered how spiteful Sophia was. But with dirt on her, I saw she was both mean and stupid. She wore her dirty deeds like a badge of honor. She thought society laughed at the poor, but tolerated scandalous behavior. She was shameless and didn't hide. Her admirers saw her as a true rich beauty and questioned nothing. So, when I began investigating, it was a breeze. Once I had all the evidence, I handed it to the police. Without those pieces, there's no way they would have come. Anyone could figure that out, but Sophia couldn't. She practically begged in front of thousands to get caught. She brought this on herself, and I wouldn't stop it. Seeing her secrets aired live left her pale and twitching. Unable to stand it, she begged the police to end the stream and take her away. Watching Sophia get dragged from David's live stream was satisfying. In my past life, she made me the scapegoat. This time, I turned the tables. As Sophia's stream shut off, the drama-thirsty audience flocked to David's stream. Seeing me, they showered me with compliments. Aren't you the award-winning writer who's published books? So humble. Wow, writers are really smart. They cleverly get those who slander them to reveal themselves. So clean and slick. Consider me a fan now. But Jean, is that guy who was standing up for Sophia really your brother? Why would he side with another girl? Is he even your real brother? Seriously, who needs a brother like that? Not just him, but even her first love was helping Sophia attack her. Just her luck to be surrounded by such losers. David and Sam were super frantic when they saw Sophia getting taken away, but they didn't want to lose that online traffic. When people started targeting them, they finally shut the stream with scowls on their faces. Then they shot me a dirty look and ran off to the police station to check on Sophia. A bunch of people online quickly changed their minds and became fans. It reminded me of my last life, when I got cyberbullied. After Sophia accused me of plagiarism back then, my name blew up. But then, it was the bad kind of fame and online torment. This time, it's genuine fame and praise. Funny enough, I'm not even happy about it. People online are so fickle. They don't care about the real story. They just follow the crowd. This knave destroyed me last time, but has helped me get revenge in this life. Their comments reminded me of something, though. Sam wants to suck up to Sophia and skip a decade of hard work. But David, why does he want to hurt me too? Is he not actually my brother? With that thought, I went home, swiped some of David's hair before he got back, and got a DNA test. This whole situation was spiraling into a mess. But even after Sophia was caught, I couldn't figure out how she stole my work. At first, I thought David and Sam might have set up surveillance cameras at my place, or maybe they installed spyware on my laptop. But I moved in with Eva and got the computer checked. Nothing was wrong. I was really stressed. Conveniently, Eva's dad, Matt, is a retired cop. I told him everything. He furrowed his brows, thinking, then finally zeroed in on my glasses. Matt asked if he could take a look. I didn't hesitate and passed them over. He peered through a magnifying glass, then suddenly had an aha moment. Turns out, I was right. I was confused, not getting what he meant. So, he handed me the magnifying glass and told me to inspect the screws at the front of my glasses. Right in the middle of one screw, there was a tiny pinhole camera. If you didn't look closely, you wouldn't notice it. I was stunned. Suddenly, I remembered that about a month ago, when I was signing up for the competition, David accidentally broke my glasses. While apologizing, he gave me a new frame. I thought the new glasses looked great and didn't get mad. Little did I know, he had tampered with them. No wonder he could always find me. Eva's dad told me this kind of camera is super advanced and rare. Anyone using it must report it to the authorities. He suspected David might have been involved in something shady that could harm national interests. I got chills thinking about it. I remembered David studied programming, but later became a publishing editor, interacting with top university professors. Could there be a larger scheme here? I removed the spy camera and handed it to Matt to report. Plus, with this camera, Sophia's plagiarism was now anchored in solid evidence. In the past, accused of plagiarism, I paid massive penalties for breaching competition rules. This time, I wouldn't let Sophia off the hook. I wanted to see how she'd wiggle out when the truth came out. I also wouldn't spare David and Sam, who were accomplices. I wrote a report questioning David's real identity and sent it to the government. David liked keeping secrets. Let's see how he feels when his secret identity is exposed, leaving him ruined. After getting that done, I moved out immediately. I went to stay in a small villa I secured earlier with lottery winnings. Having $80 million gave me confidence to do whatever I wanted. Mainly, I wanted to avoid confronting scum like David and Sam, who was a profit-driven first love. I blocked both of their contacts, then signed up for a nationwide tour package to relax. It was summer break, so school was out, and last life struggles made me tense. I needed a vacation. After adventuring for a month, I headed back to my villa with loads of souvenirs. Just as I was about to drop some off with Eva, right outside my complex, I ran into David. If not for knowing him for over a decade, I almost wouldn't have recognized him. He looked way skinnier and wrecked. His beard was wild, and his eyes were bloodshot. Before I could call for help, he dragged me into a van parked nearby. He gripped my shoulders, demanding, "Jean, why'd you move out? Do you realize how worried I've been?" I rolled my eyes, exasperatedly replying, "Worried you couldn't find me would be more fitting. Worried Sophia'd have no one to defend her." David paused and then softened his tone. "Jean, I know I've kept things from you and it made you mad, but I'm truly worried, since I am your brother. Don't think of me like that, please." I sighed. "Okay, if you're satisfied seeing I'm fine, you can let me go now, right?" I tried to open the door, but he held me back. Seeing him hesitating, I lost my patience. "Spit it out if you got something to say. I've got things to do, no time to waste." David sighed, cautiously asking, "Jean, can you help Sophia? She's the daughter of an important client of mine. Now it's all a mess. Her reputation's shattered. She almost killed herself. Couldn't you help her for your brother's sake?" I shot back, not amused. "I barely know her. How should I help?" David's eyes lit up. "Just say that article Sophia submitted was yours, and you accidentally posted it under her account, trying to play a prank. That way, Sophia gets a free pass." I snorted. "David, you're sure about this?" He eagerly nodded. I got furious. "David, do you know that if I do this, I'd be charged for false reporting? False reports mean jail time. Is that what you want for me?" David got mad too. "Jean, don't think I don't know. You won an 80 million lottery. With that kind of money, can't you help Sophia out? You could join this competition for your brother. So why can't you just help Sophia for his sake?" I stared at him, smiling. "You say to do it for my brother, but are you really my biological brother?" As soon as I said that, David's face suddenly changed and his eyes darted away. "Jean, what nonsense are you talking about? I don't get it." When the paternity test results came out, I wasn't all that surprised. It felt like I already knew David wasn't my real brother. Would a real brother put his sister in jeopardy for someone else? Once the results were in, I rushed to investigate my background. I didn't expect it to drag up an old story. Turns out, Sophia is David's real sister. I'm the one who's actually the rich family's daughter. Back then, my mom and David's mom were in the same hospital giving birth. David's family was poor, but my mom's family was well off. David, being the sister protector he is, swapped me with Sophia so his sister could have a better life. That's how Sophia and I switched lives. But genes are powerful things. Because I inherited my mom's intelligence and my dad's emotional intelligence, I always did well in school. Relatives would say I didn't seem like a kid from their family. I thought it was just a joke, never imagined it was true. Seeing that I figured out the truth, David suddenly looks menacing, reaching for a utility knife nearby. I scoffed. "David, are you thinking of silencing me? Is Sophia, that ungrateful wolf, really worth it?" Then, I played the recording I secretly had someone place on Sophia. That David is so annoying, a mute. Did he really think calling him brother makes him my brother? Dream on. And that Sam, he's just like David, a sycophant. David disgusts me. Does he have indecent thoughts toward me? Can't he see his age? If it weren't for him helping me win first in the competition, why would I even bother with him? These boundaryless men, they disgust me. Penniless and trying to act all important. Do they even know their place? How dare they? Hearing the recording, David shoved me aside and drove off in his van. I figured he was headed to confront Sophia. The next news I got of David was of his death. After hearing the recording, David, holding on to a sliver of hope, went to find Sophia. He told her of her background, hoping to reunite, but Sophia flat out refused to accept it. In a fit of emotion, Sophia pushed David off the rooftop. David fell, and as luck would have it, landed on Sam down below. Both of them died instantly. Sophia was sentenced to life in prison. The news shocked me, but I never thought of reconnecting with my biological parents. If things went wrong, let them stay that way. I just want to take the millions in my account and live my life peacefully. Maybe occasionally do what I love, without getting tangled in the so-called family ties.